Hello and welcome to Saturday Sports on Western Spring Television, where we give you previews and previews as it concerns the world of sports, especially in the Europe's top 5 league. Then we'll look at the Nigeria Premier Football League, where we'll be giving you updates as the games wind down in the coming season. 4 games to go. Then we'll switch over sides and go to tennis, Formula One, and boxing. My name is Aggie Testimony, welcoming you to the show. And together I have a guest in the studio, Jeffrey Iyere. 12 of us will be doing analysis and whatnot as it concerns the world of sports and all that. Today we'll be looking at different things as it concerns the world of sports. First, we'll go to the NFF, where they are lining up friendlies for the Super Falcons as time preparations continues for their World Cup in New Zealand and Australia come July. Then we'll switch over side to the Nigeria League One, where after a series of postponements, the league is scheduled to come back on the 3rd of May. Then we'll look at the Nigerian Premier Football League as Remo Stars face Enyimba in Aba. That one promises to be a blockbuster. Then Bender Insurance continues their invincible runs as they try to look to actually clinch qualification place for the Nigerian Premier Football League Super 6 when that one comes about. Then we'll go to England and see what has happened to Arsenal, Manchester City, Chelsea, and all that. Welcome, Jeffrey. What a game we had yesterday from the Arsenal team. I think it was particularly about pressure and the momentum they've had over the time. For 8 months, they've been on top of the league, and that's much pressure didn't come. Is it because it is going to the latter stages of the league where they will be decided as winners, eventual winners? Their last 3 games, they've dropped 6 points. 2 of them, they were comfortable in winning positions. Against Liverpool, they were 2-0 better than Liverpool till things changed in the second half. Against West Ham United, they were 2-0 better. They were in total control of that game, but eventually they lost that lead to the West Ham side. Then yesterday was just disaster. Just a quick one before we continue with
Okay, about the Arsenal match. You know what they say, the Premier League is like the toughest league in all of football. In all of football top leagues, because you can't predict who will win, you can't predict how the outcome will be, and it's more easier of you starting. They say there's a saying when you're starting a thing, it's more easier to go, but when it's about ending, it's more difficult. So I feel all the pressures are telling on them right now. That's why.
Maybe it's a young team. Well, we'll start off from the local scene where the NFF are lining up friendlies for the Super Falcons as their World Cup quest says to continue in July 20th. The Nigerian Football Federation have revealed that plans are in place for Super Falcons to play Grade A friendly game ahead of the 2023 World Cup in New Zealand and Australia. The Nigerians set to play in the 2023 FIFA World Cup, and they want to improve the team's record in the tournament. The team under Wild Drums tutelage has played a series of friendly games ahead of the competition, and just 3 months left to the start of the competition, the NFF have made plans to help the team excel. In the communique released by the NFF on Monday, there are plans to top friendly game proper campaign before the World Cup. And according to the board, according to the statement read, the board stated that it will do even more to prepare the team for big challenges and with Grade A friendly match in Europe and a 2-week campaign in Australia before the kickoff of the tournament in July 20. Now, if you look at the team we were drawn against, they are very good teams, and you want to say that the Nigerian counterpart, they have all it takes, because Onoma AB came at one time and said, "Oh, we have what it takes to be in the semi-finals."
True.
The 8-time African champions, they're doing very well in Africa. But then if you look at how they've played against European opponents and American opponents, they haven't really been their best.
And that's because, you know, playing at another different level, when you're playing within your own country and national zone, is very easier than you going outside the box. But I feel now they are more capable of even delivering, because all the morale, all the zeal, all the push is there for them to perform well. And their last 2 friendlies against Haiti and New Zealand, they won it. I feel the Super Falcons are ready, but you know, the group stage that they are in is the toughest among all.
Yeah, because they play Australia, Canada, and Republic of Ireland. By the quality of the Super Falcons, you would expect that this should be an easy walkover for them, because if you look at the quality of the Australian side, no disrespect to them. If you look at the quality of the Canadian side, no disrespect to them. Republic of Ireland, compared to women's teams, we have the likes of the United States, we have the likes of England, we have the likes of France and the Netherlands. These people are people that can give you a run for their money. Do you see them getting at least 9 points or even topping that group at the end of the day?
I can't foresee what I see them like.
But then, because you have to put a lot of things into consideration,
Sure.
first, you have to look at the fact that we have very good players in our ranks. We have players representing Nigeria in Europe. We have Asisat Oshola, who has been phenomenal in the Barcelona side. They have
Yeah.
gone over 62 games without a defeat, and I think that's impressive for them in the league. Now you have the likes of Rashidat Ajibade, Onome AB, all of them plying their trade abroad. We have the likes of Babatunde in Real Betis. Do you think if Waldron would actually put things in order, try to get the best out of this girl with the girls with the right system, do you think they can go all the way to top that group?
Sure, anyone can do that. Just for them to win their first game, and the second game is the first game is very, very important in the group stage, because once you start losing, it's going to be very hard for you to bounce back. It's going to take the grace of God for your team to win. But I feel
starting strong is important.
Starting strong is very, very important for them. I feel the Super Falcons, they can deliver, yeah.
The Super Falcons can deliver. And we switch side, we go to the Nigerian League One, where a new date has been fixed for the competition proper. So the NOL gives reason for shift in the 2023 season kickoff date. The much awaited 2023 season of the nationwide League One will officially kick off on Wednesday, May 3rd, according to directives from the Secretariat. Though it has suffered a second shift in the proposed kickoff date, in keeping with its commitments made to clubs, the Secretariat of the nation's third-tier domestic league moved forward by a week, the commencement of the new season in the best interest of all parties. The season schedule returns to the Stadium League format after it was adopted and vetoed in February by the NLO Congress, held virtually, as it considers the security, economic and political challenges in the country at that time. According to the NLO media channel, an official statement on Thursday gave reasons for the shift in date. First, they say all is still in top gear to commence the season without hitches in terms of the logistics we have put in place for the Stadium League format, say the NLO Chiefs Operating Officer, Olushola Ogunowo. He said, on the other hand, a few clubs have slowed our activities as they were yet to complete their players' registration processes. Players' registration by all the clubs before the kickoff of the season is imperative to the NLO, and it's never our norm to start the season without a fire brigade approach. We also consider the knockout football competition, Federation Cup, which is at the round of 32 stages. A few NLO teams are still in the race for the trophy, so it wouldn't be fair if the Secretariat doesn't consider such teams when releasing the fixtures for the season. Having moved the commencement date by a week, we are certain that the affected clubs will use this window to finalize players' registration for the season, the media chief of the NLO has said. And you want to look at it, if you look at it at this point in time, the Nigerian Premier Football League is almost at the latter stages. Sure. There are 5 games before the end of the season, and to confirm who will qualify for the Super 6 as the league winds down. But then the NLO are just starting. And if you want to promote teams from the lower division, which is the third tier, to the Nigerian National League, which is the second tier before proper. Do you think this shift and rearrangement of schedule and commencement of the league will affect the structure of the league proper?
I feel what they're trying to do, they're trying to balance the structure in order not to have issues ahead. Like what they're doing, like most of the delays are caused by the teams themselves, like late players registration, and they're looking for some sponsors. I read about them going. I think they're having another meeting on the 26th to look for for more sponsors for the NLO. But I feel what they're trying to do is to balance things now. So in case when the season kicks off, there won't be any issues ahead. So I feel it's right for them.
But then they made mention of something here about most teams not bringing the right registration process. But then, if this is a structured league, for instance, if it's a structured league, there's supposed to be some sort of discipline, sort of discipline to make sure that people are registered on time. And you don't just use the excuse of saying, oh, you didn't register on time. As such, the league has to be postponed, and we understand that at the time there was the elections that actually paused the Nigerian Premier Football League. But then these things are not supposed to be reasons why you should be pausing and making rearrangements for the league to commence.
But things like this, it happens like not often though, but just once in a while. And since this whole stuff has been like this, it's just for us to hope for something like this not to happen again. But I feel maybe the election told on the Nigeria side of the committee side of organizing and everything. But the structure, I don't really blame the team, I would say I don't really blame the team but for the NLO to accept their plea, it's something. Because if the reason seems to be valid for them to accept and even keep on postponing when the league will start. So I feel there were so many things that happened, but the reasons were valid.
Okay, so the most important thing now is what's the implication of this on the league structure and how it will help like player through development ranks, because I saw a very shocking name in the league format, which is Kano Pillars, who are known to be one of the big boys in the Nigerian Premier Football League. And you want to see how low they've fallen, because the Kano Pillars, you know, in the 2012-2011 season, they were on fire. They were top. You don't go to Kano and win them in the Kano Township Stadium, but things have fallen so badly for them. And at this point in time, people don't even hear of them anymore.
Yeah, true.
Such a fall from grace.
It happens now. Like Bende Insurance just coming back up. Before they
Jazz before they left the league in 2019 and came back 4 years, almost 4 years later.
They've been fighting.
Before they came back to the league in 2019, they had an 11-year spell on the sidelines.
Oh.
Do you think that would be the case for Kano Pillars at this point in time?
Kano Pillars, I feel maybe the team, like, it needs re-strategizing, because I feel all the players, they've lost confidence in the team, and maybe most of their players then have either switched teams and gone to different clubs, because they can't bear the shame of falling down to not second, to the third division.
I think it's shame is just football for
it happens, but no big player would want to remain in that club.
Warriors, for instance, are in the National League because they perform badly and they're in the National League. If you perform badly, you actually be relegated. For instance, Air Academy Warriors are, for instance, they are 10th on the log, 14 matches played. They've won just 2. I think these are the kind of qualities you exude if you're not playing very, very well, not winning games, losing games.
But for Kano Pillars to fall down from that height down to the third division, it seems most of their players, they are really disappointed, and I think they've left the club.
Oh, we switch over now to the Nigerian Premier Football League, where it remains 4 games rather for the league to wind them, and we want to suggest and see who actually gets into the Super 6 as it winds down. Bende Insurance will be locking horns with Air Academy Warriors, who sits 10th place on the log. Bende Insurance, they have played their last 5 games rather,
and true,
in the same scoreline, 1-1, 1-1, 1-1. Their last win came against Eimba before the elections break. And do you think it's worrying for them? Because if you look at their side, they were moving. There was this sort of belief in the side. Because they came into the league, they won 4 games at the stretch. And that's to go to show that, okay, these people actually meant business. But there's a little bit of sponsorship, not a little bit now this time. The government are heavily involved in making these people believe that they can actually go all the way to give these big boys in the league a run for their money. Now they sit first. They've played 14 games. They've drawn 7, they've won 7, and they've lost none, which is good for them and their confidence, not losing any game, like tilting towards that invincible. But then if you want to look at them, they are just 4 points off Eimba, who hosts Remo Stars tomorrow. And Bende Insurance play Air Academy Warriors by 4 p.m. today. And if you look at the Group B, we have Lobby Stars in first place, 14 matches played. They've won 8, drawn 2, and lost 4. They are top of the table with 26 points. Rivers United are a game less. They've played 13, won 6, drawn 5, and lost 2, 23 games. And Doma United, like we talked about them last week, how impressive they've been. And they won over the weekend. They won by 2-0. So, do you think Bende Insurance can go all the way, or maybe when the Super 6 comes, if they eventually qualify, because it is not certain they've qualified, but when games are played this weekend, that will be settled for sure.
Okay, I feel them drawing at this distance now, it's very bad for them, because on the long run, it's going to tell on them, because the pace, like the zeal they used to start the league, it was awesome. Like, people were even shocked. Like, they keep on winning their games back to back, and I think they are the only team who haven't lost a game in the NPFL since it started this season. and they keep winning, but all of a sudden they started drawing like back to back, as if it's a cause or something. Maybe I feel maybe the players are really having a tough time. Maybe they're dealing with fatigue or illness and so many things that is bringing their morale down. And with the rightful mentorship, and if the coach can just spark up that fire like they did when the season started, then I think they'll be able to bounce back. But their game against these people today, I think they're going to trash them, because it's going to be like a walkover for them.
Okay, we'll see at that one, Panza, but we'll go over to the big game at the Aba Township Stadium, where Enyimba will be hosting the Remo Stars. Remo Stars have been doing fantastically well this season. They sit fourth on the table, and they are hoping, they sit fifth on the table rather. They've played 14 games, they've won 6, they've drawn 5, and they've lost 3. Enyimba sitting second, playing fourth and winning 7, drawing 3 and losing 4. And last weekend, Enyimba traveled all the way to Kwara to snatch that away victory from the Kwaran side. And how do you see that game? Call again for me. Well, Remo Stars, Enyimba at the Aba Township Stadium. Okay,
the game today, Remo Stars and Enyimba. Okay. Well, over the week, the Remo Stars coach he talked to Daily Post, and he said that they are going to Aba Stadium to win them in front of their fans. And I feel, wow, such boldness coming in, and the match hasn't even started.
You can give them that, because this season we've seen a lot of away results compared to what we have seen last season, and it's due to a particular fact.
They're speaking to, is it 8th time or 9th time champion? It's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough game for them. At times you don't just see something till it happens. I remember a case when this new Chelsea manager said that they are going to win Real Madrid 3-0 first leg, and it was a shocking, like, after coming out to boast, and still your team was trashed. But I feel the game is going to be a tough one. It's really going to be a tough one, because Enyimba have been doing good, but even Remo Stars still, they've been trying their best. So the game is going to be a massive one.
We go over to the IMC and the NFF making a very good agreement. We've seen that over the years, over this season, the IMC came in as an interim body to actually see things. And if you look at them, we've seen that they've actually made very good decisions as it concerns sanctions to teams who cannot contain their fans or their players. And we've seen a lot of sanctions, a lot of fines have been paid. Points are being deducted and all of that. Remo Stars recently been deducted of 3 points. But then there's a story coming out from the NFF this time saying they want to extend that decision to actually keep the IMC in the league for next season. So the NFF Federation has reaffirmed that the interim management committee of the Nigerian Premier Football League will be allowed to remain in office and conclude its mandates before any action can be taken on board for the Nigerian Premier Football League. The president of the NFF, Alhaji Ibrahim Gusau, disclosed this on Wednesday. He said the present IMC of the MPF, led by Honorable Benga Elegbeye, said, he said, let me for once commend the IMC for the great job it is doing to reposition the elite division of our domestic league. We are enamored by the way and manner the board has gone about its mandate, and everyone can see the transparency, the probity and seriousness of the members and how they've attracted and attached seriousness to their task. So the IMC will remain in office to complete their tenure as extended by the NFF a couple of months ago. Afterwards, the NFF's executive committee will meet to decide on the best way forward. However, the new boards of the Nigerian National League, Nigerian Women's Football League, and the Nigerian Nationwide League One will be constituted within the week, said Gusau. It can be recalled that on the 21st of October 2022, the IMC inaugurated by the NFF president with an initial mandate of 3 months and a number of terms of reference aimed at ensuring a new life generally for the Nigerian elite division, because we've had cases where officiating and the lives and properties are not being secured, because most times fans will go irate and try to destroy things because their team are not performing well or they are losing games. But the IMC have come to has come with a hammer to say that this cannot be condoned in the league, and if we want to be a professional league, we should actually have these punishments in place for whosoever else. Do you think it's a good one for them to extend it?
Yeah, it's a very, very, very good one, because I see like in the English side they have a body that conducts all of these, even the Spanish, the La Liga. PGM, yeah, but for we down here, there haven't been anything to even help us out. But them coming down, like organizing this body, it has been really, really helpful, because I have gone to, I hail from Edo State. I've gone to watch some matches that happened at our stadium, even after the match, like there are riots, are fights, and fans getting angry and doing all sort of things. I feel this body is really going to help us to improve security. Even at times, the officiating is not even done proper. I think this body is going to help out a lot.
Okay, the ball is going to help out a lot. Now we'll go on a quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk about the English Premier League and how things went down yesterday. Arsenal again dropping points, this time at home against struggling Southampton. Then we'll talk about Manchester United's chances of actually qualifying for the Champions League. The Manchester City's hope for the treble. We'll be right back. Please stay with us.